my wonderful English learners, and welcome back to another episode of Learn English with Emma. I'm so happy to have you here with me today because this episode is very special. We're going to talk about something that so many of you dream about: how to speak English fluently every single day. Not just sometimes, not just in class, but every day in real life. Let me start by asking you a question. What does fluency mean to you? Is it speaking fast? Is it using perfect grammar? Is it never hesitating? Well, today we're going to break that idea wide open. I want to begin with a little story. A few years ago, I had a student named Anna. Anna was from Brazil. She had been learning English for over 10 years. She could read books, understand movies, and she even got great grades in her English classes. But when it came to speaking, especially in real situations, she froze. She told me, "Emma, I can understand almost everything, but I just can't speak. My brain goes blank. I'm afraid I'll say something wrong." Sound familiar? So I worked with Anna for 3 months, but instead of just focusing on grammar or vocabulary, we worked on speaking every single day. Not long conversations, not perfect English, just something, anything, every day. We focused on short voice notes, simple shadowing exercises, thinking in English, speaking out loud to herself while walking her dog, talking to her plants. Yes, really, talking to her plants. And guess what? After just 3 months, Anna was having real conversations. She wasn't perfect, but she was fluent. Why? Because fluency isn't about perfection. It's about flow and frequency. All right, my friends, let's get into something very important. What does it really mean to be fluent in English? If you ask 10 different people, you might get 10 different answers. But today, I want to give you a definition that is going to change the way you think about learning and especially the way you speak. Most learners, maybe even you, think fluency means speaking like a native speaker. No grammar mistakes, no hesitation, perfect pronunciation, a huge vocabulary, right? Well, no, that's not fluency. That's fantasy. Let me tell you something powerful. Fluency is not perfection. Fluency is not the absence of mistakes. Fluency is the ability to express your thoughts smoothly and confidently, even if you're not perfect. Think about it. When you speak in your native language, do you always speak perfectly? Do you always use the right word? Never hesitate? Never make mistakes? Of course not. I'll give you an example. I'm a native English speaker. I've been speaking English since I was 2 years old. And guess what? I still forget words sometimes. I still say or pause while I think. I still make grammar mistakes, especially when I'm tired or speaking fast. So why do we expect learners like you to be perfect? Let me repeat that again because it's so important. Fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being comfortable. Can you have a conversation without panicking? Can you describe what you did today in simple English? Can you ask for help, share a story, or express your opinion even if you make some mistakes? If you can do that, then my friend, you are fluent. And if you can't do that yet, don't worry. You're on the way. You're growing. And I'm here to help you every step of the way. Now, I want you to do something with me right now. Take a deep breath in and out. And say this out loud. I don't need to be perfect to be fluent. Again, I don't need to be perfect to be fluent. One more time, with feeling. I don't need to be perfect to be fluent. That is your new mindset. That is your new belief. Because the more you let go of the fear of mistakes, the more your brain will relax and the more natural your speech will become. Let's talk about something called communication confidence. This is the heart of fluency. It means you trust yourself to speak, even when your English isn't perfect. You trust yourself to keep going, to try, to connect with the other person. That's what speaking is really about. It's not about showing how smart you are or how big your vocabulary is. It's about making a connection. Let me tell you about one of my favorite students, Ibrahim. He's from Egypt. He told me this beautiful story. He was at a conference and someone asked him a question in English. His grammar was a bit off, he forgot a few words, but he smiled, stayed calm, and explained his idea with simple words. And you know what? The other person understood him perfectly. They even laughed together. After that, Ibrahim said to me, "Emma, I realized I don't need to impress people with big words. I just need to be myself. I just need to speak." Exactly. And that, my friends, is what fluency is all about. It's not a test. It's not a performance. It's a skill. It's a tool. It's a part of your daily life. And here's the best part. You can be fluent now at your current level if you let go of fear and speak every day, a little at a time. We're going to talk more about that in the next part of this episode. But for now, I want you to remember this one sentence. Fluency is not speaking perfectly. It's speaking freely. Say it with me. Fluency is not speaking perfectly. It's speaking freely. Beautiful. You're doing great. Okay, let's move on to the next part, how daily exposure, or what I call English input, helps build real, natural fluency. We've talked about what fluency really means and how it's not about being perfect, but about speaking freely and confidently. Now, let's talk about something that might be even more important than speaking when you're trying to become fluent in English. Are you ready? That thing is daily exposure, daily input. Think of it this way. Before you can speak a language, you have to hear it a lot. Let me ask you something simple. How did you learn your first language? When you were a baby, you didn't start by speaking. You started by listening. You heard your parents, your family. You heard people talking on the TV, on the street, at the store. You didn't understand everything, but over time, your brain started connecting the sounds and the meanings. And then, bam, one day you said your first word, then your second, then your first sentence. The same is true with English. Before you can speak it fluently, you need to hear it a lot. You need to surround yourself with it every single day, even if it's just for 10 minutes. Now here's something important. The input you get doesn't need to be advanced. It doesn't need to be academic. In fact, it's better if it's simple, fun, and real. That's what your brain learns best from. Let me give you some of my favorite ways to get daily English exposure. Number 1, podcasts like this one. You're already doing it. Podcasts are amazing because you can listen while doing other things, cooking, walking, driving, or even cleaning your room. You're learning without even realizing it. Just having English in your ears every day helps your brain get used to the rhythm, sounds, and patterns of the language. Number 2, watch short videos in English. This could be YouTube Shorts, TikToks, or Instagram Reels. Short videos are powerful because they often show real people using real English in real situations. And because they're short, you can repeat them easily. Listen once, listen again. Try to shadow the speaker. That repetition builds fluency. Number 4, audiobooks and music. Audiobooks are amazing for your imagination and vocabulary. Choose a simple story. Listen while reading the text. And for music, sing along. Yes, sing, even if you think you can't sing. Singing teaches you natural sentence stress and helps your mouth get used to English sounds. Number 5, read something every day, even one paragraph. It could be a blog, a short story, or even a tweet. Reading helps you see how English is used. Then, when you hear or say it, your brain recognizes it more quickly. Now let's talk about a golden rule I teach all my students. I call it the 5-10-15 rule. Here's how it works. 5 minutes of English input when you wake up. Start your day with English. Listen to a short podcast episode or read a paragraph. It sets the tone for your brain. 10 minutes during your lunch or break. Instead of scrolling mindlessly, watch one video in English or listen to music with lyrics. 15 minutes before bed. Review what you learned. Watch one scene from a movie. Listen to something calming in English. Let your brain sleep with the language. That's it, just 30 minutes total. And if you do this every single day, your brain will become so familiar with English that speaking becomes natural. You'll start to think in English. You'll start to speak automatically because your brain is full of the language. Let me tell you a story. I had a student named Masaru from Japan. He was very shy. He didn't like speaking in front of others. But he followed the 5-10-15 rule every day for 2 months. He didn't do anything fancy. He listened to a podcast in the morning, he watched one YouTube video at lunch, and he read one English article before bed. After 2 months, something amazing happened. He came to class and started speaking with more confidence. He wasn't translating in his head anymore. He said, "Emma, I don't know what happened. I didn't even practice speaking much, but now my English flows better." And I told him, "Masaru, your brain is full of English now. That's the power of input. You're feeding your fluency." That's what I want for you too. So your mission is clear. Expose yourself to English every single day. Make it a habit. Make it a part of your life, like brushing your teeth or eating breakfast. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be consistent. I'll leave you with this thought. The more English you hear, the more English you will speak. Say it with me. The more English I hear, the more English I will speak. So far, we've discovered what real fluency means. We've talked about the power of daily input, and now we get to the part that scares most people: speaking. Every day. Don't worry, I'm not going to throw you into a long conversation with a stranger right away. Today, I'm going to show you how to speak English every single day in a way that feels natural, easy, and even fun. Here's a truth bomb. You can't become fluent if you don't speak. Let me say that again. You can't become fluent if you don't speak. You can listen for hours, read every book, memorize every word in the dictionary, but if you never actually use your voice, your brain and your mouth won't work together. Fluency lives in that connection between brain and mouth. But I get it, speaking can be scary. You might think, what if I say something wrong? What if they don't understand me? What if I forget the word? But here's the thing, that's okay. Speaking isn't about being perfect. It's about trying again and again until your mouth gets used to English. So today, I'm going to give you 5 powerful, low-pressure ways to speak English every day, even if you don't have a partner or teacher. Yes, even if you're alone. Let's go. 1. Speak to yourself. Yes, talk to yourself out loud. This is the easiest and most powerful method. You don't need anyone else, just your voice. Talk about what you're doing. For example, I'm making coffee. I'm putting on my shoes. I have a meeting in 1 hour. You can also talk about your thoughts. I feel excited today. I'm tired, but I want to learn. I hope I have a productive day. Do this in the morning, or while walking, or before bed. You're not just practicing vocabulary, you're training your brain to think in English, which is the fastest way to become fluent. 2. Use the shadowing technique. Shadowing means listening to a native speaker and repeating exactly what they say immediately, like an echo. Find a short video, podcast, or movie scene. Play one sentence, pause, and say it out loud. Try to copy the rhythm, pronunciation, and emotion. Let's try a tiny one now. I'll say it, you repeat after me. I don't have time right now. Again, I don't have time right now. That's shadowing. It trains your ears, your voice, and your memory all at the same time. Even 5 minutes a day can create huge results. 3. Record yourself speaking. Yes, I know, it feels weird at first, but it's one of the best tools you have. Use your phone, press record, talk for 30 seconds about your day, then play it back and listen. You'll hear things you didn't notice before, like mispronounced words or long pauses. Don't judge yourself. This is about learning, not criticizing. Later, record the same topic again. Compare. You'll see how much better you sound. You'll start to notice your progress, and that's a huge motivation boost. 4. Find an English-speaking buddy, even if it's a robot. Of course, the best way to practice speaking is with a real person. But what if you don't have one? Here's the good news. You can talk to voice AIs, language apps, or join English-speaking communities online. There are platforms like Tandem, HelloTalk, or Speaky where you can find language exchange partners. Even one 10-minute conversation a week will build your fluency muscle. And don't worry if you're nervous. Start with texting, then send voice notes, then try a short voice call. Remember, small steps, big results. 5. Set a daily speaking challenge. Make it fun. Every day, give yourself a small speaking task. For example, Monday, describe your weekend. Tuesday, talk about your favorite food. Wednesday, explain how to do something simple, like making tea. Thursday, share your opinion on a topic, like, is social media good or bad? Friday, pretend you're ordering food at a restaurant. Saturday, tell a short story from your childhood. Sunday, talk about your goals for next week. You can do this alone, with a friend, or with your teacher. The point is, every day, you open your mouth and use your English. Now, I want to tell you about one of my brave students, Maria from Colombia. She was very quiet at first. She said, "Emma, I understand everything, but I can't speak. I freeze." So I gave her a simple challenge. Speak for 1 minute every day about anything. She didn't need to share it, she just had to record herself. She did this every day for a month. Now, we're about to break through one of the biggest walls English learners face. Are you ready? Let me ask you a question. Do you translate in your head when you speak English? You hear something in English. You think about it in your language. You translate it back into English. Then you say it. Sound familiar? Here's the problem. This process is slow. It causes hesitation, and it stops fluency. If you want to speak fluently, you must learn to think in English. That means when you hear a question in English, your answer forms in English, not your native language. Now, let me be very clear. Translating isn't wrong. In fact, it's completely normal, especially at the beginning. It's how your brain builds connections between two languages. But the more you depend on translation, the more you slow yourself down. The goal is to build a direct highway in your brain from English input to English output without needing to pass through your native language. So today, I'm going to show you how to stop translating and start thinking in English, step by step. Let's begin. Step 1. Label the world around you in English. Look around right now. What do you see? You might see a chair, a table, a window, a phone, a book. Say the words in English, out loud if possible. Every time you look at something, try to say the English word in your head. At first, your brain might go, "Oh, that's a mesa. Wait, what's that in English? Oh yeah, table." But with time, your brain will skip that first part and go straight to table. Try it now. Look around your room. Pick 5 things. Say the English word. Great job. You're already starting to think in English. Step 2. Use English for your inner thoughts. You know that voice inside your head, the one that talks to you all day? Try turning that voice into English, just for a few minutes at a time. For example, when you wake up, say to yourself, "I'm going to take a shower now." When you're walking, say, "It's a nice day. I like the breeze." When you're making food, think, "I need to cut the vegetables." Start small. Start simple. Even one sentence in English inside your mind is progress. The more your brain hears your thoughts in English, the more fluent you become because you're literally living in the language. Step 3. React in English. When something surprises you or you feel a strong emotion, try to use English expressions. Instead of thinking, "Qué sorpresa," think, "Wow, I didn't expect that." Instead of "Qué lindo," think, "That's so cute." Start replacing your natural emotional reactions with English ones. This is powerful because those reactions are automatic. And if your automatic reaction is in English, your brain is truly starting to live in the language. Step 4. Learn phrases, not just words. This step is huge. When you learn English word by word, you often feel stuck when speaking. But when you learn full phrases, you don't need to build every sentence. You just use what you already know. For example, instead of translating "Puedes ayudarme" to "Can you help me?" you just learn the full phrase. Can you help me? Other useful phrase blocks: I'd like to order, I'd like to ask you something. Do you know if? Do you know if he's coming? I'm not sure, but I think he left already. Memorizing these blocks allows your brain to skip translation. You just plug and play. Step 5. Practice thinking time. Here's a fun, short daily activity. Set a timer for 2 minutes. During those 2 minutes, only think in English. No speaking, no writing, just thinking. You can think about what you want to do today, something that happened yesterday, a movie you watched, someone you admire. At first, it'll be hard. You'll want to switch to your language. That's okay. Gently bring yourself back to English. Start with 2 minutes, then try 3, then 5, then 10. Over time, your thoughts will flow naturally in English, and that's when fluency takes off. Step 6. Bonus tip. Don't worry about being perfect. Fluent thinking doesn't mean correct grammar every time. It means you're processing ideas directly in English. Mistakes are part of the process.